Australia, 1970s. When the siren screamed, criminals didn't hear a warning. They felt it. The ground shook. The air trembled. Because beneath those police badges roared engines bred for war. These weren't machines. They were predators. And when they roared to life, someone's freedom was about to die. Ford's 351 Cleveland roared like a lion. Holden's 308 thumped like a heartbeat. Chrysler's Hemi wailed like a god in agony. They didn't chase. They hunted. Their engines scorched the night, tearing through fear and fuel. When they turned the ignition, fate sealed itself. Because in this ruthless game of cat and mouse, only one truth remained. The house always won. First up, we have Ford's 351 Cleveland V8, the motorway monarch. In 1970, Ford Australia unleashed a beast. Brought in from America, the 351 Cleveland V8 became an Australian legend. It was more than an engine. It was a bold stand against crime. A 5.8-liter thunderclap wrapped in steel and defiance. It wasn't an engine. It was a crime-fighting weapon on wheels. Its bore and stroke measure 4.0 inches by 3.50 inches. The police-tuned versions also have an aggressive 11.0 to 1 compression ratio. This setup provides brutal power and relentless speed. The Cleveland was powered by a quad-barrel Holley carburetor, though many replaced it with more dependable options. It also had upgraded radiators and additional oil coolers. These upgrades helped it endure high-speed chases in Australia's intense heat. On highways and back roads, it became a nightmare for outlaws. Sergeant Tom Spike Henderson recalls it clearly. "We chased 2 car thieves from Sydney to Newcastle, 90 miles in a fast pursuit. The temp gauge was almost in the red, but Cleveland kept his foot on the accelerator. When we finally boxed them in, the thieves shook and puked from sheer terror. But it came at a cost. The engine consumed premium leaded fuel at 6 to 8 miles per gallon. It also faced heavy valve train wear due to constant high RPMs. The 351 Cleveland remains legendary. It's an icon of Australian police strength in V8 power. Today, original police spec 351Cs sell for 30% more at auctions. The last surviving Interceptor went for £450,000 in 2021. Today, police spec Interceptors sell for high prices. The 351 Cleveland didn't patrol, it stood out. Second, we have Holden's 253 V8, the Budget Bruiser. The Holden 253 V8, nicknamed the Budget Bruiser, was a reliable choice for Australian police in the 1970s. Holden's entry-level V8 had 210 horsepower in police tune. This power was enough to maintain order in city areas. Perfect for metro patrols, it offered unmatched reliability. With proper care, the 253 can last more than 200,000 miles. Also, the availability of parts makes maintenance easy and inexpensive. But the engine had its flaws. In high-speed chases, its 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 8.5 seconds felt slow. This made it less useful when a quick response was necessary. It struggled to meet the demands of chase-heavy operations. It was reliable, but it didn't have the power that other engines in the fleet offered. The 253 often had a problem with the lifter making a ticking noise. This annoying noise often happened when the engine was cold. It served as a constant reminder of its issues. Officers and mechanics alike learned to live with it, but it remained ever present. Despite these challenges, the Holden 253 V8 earned its place in Australian police history. It wasn't the fastest, but it was tough and dependable. It was always ready to serve, which made it a cherished workhorse in the force. Coming in third, Chrysler 318 V8, the quiet American. In a fleet of powerful V8s, the Chrysler 318 stood as the quiet, dependable workhorse. It wasn't the quickest engine, but rural police counted on it for long patrols in tough terrain. The 5.2-liter 318 CI V8 is part of Chrysler's LA Series small block family. In police trim, it produced 230 horsepower and strong low-end torque that peaked at 2,800 RPM. They created it for endurance, which makes it great for long trips across Australia's expansive outback. The 318's simplicity was its strength. Using regular, unleaded fuel was key for remote areas with few stations. Its tough design helped it handle rough use. However, it had flaws, such as frequent water pump failures at 30,000 miles and cracked exhaust manifolds in the harsh heat. Officers and mechanics faced challenges, but they adapted. They added coolers and reinforced parts with steel. The 318 wasn't made for high-speed chases. However, its reliability was a vital support for remote patrols. Fourth on the list, Chrysler Hemi 265, the giant killer. The Chrysler Hemi 265 was a true giant killer in the Australian police force during the early 1970s. Originally made for racing, it was tuned down for police use. Now it delivers a strong 265 horsepower, down from 302 horsepower in its racing version. This engine featured true hemispherical combustion chambers. It was a marvel of engineering, providing great performance and durability in the field. When the budget allowed, police cars got triple Weber 45 DCOE carburetors. This upgrade gave the Hemi more power. While enthusiasts revered the Hemi 265 for its raw strength, it had its flaws. The engine's timing chain required replacement every 25,000 miles, a costly issue for departments. Despite this, the Hemi was an unforgettable force on the streets. Senior Constable Vijay Patel remembers meeting a fast driver in a modified XY Falcon. "He laughed until I hit the gas," he said. That six-cylinder scream. His face was priceless when he couldn't shake me. The Hemi 265 had a notable role beyond policing. It was legendary in racing, driving the Chrysler Valiant Chargers to victory in Australian touring car events. There are 37 Hemi-powered police Chargers confirmed. Rebuild costs can go up to $2,000, making it a rare and valuable piece of Australian automotive history. Fifth in line, Holden's 308 V8, the Outback Enforcer. Born in Port Melbourne, not Detroit, the Holden 308 V8 was Australia's answer to the Outback, a 5-liter cast-iron brute made for heat, dust, and distance. It wasn't the fastest, but it was the toughest. In the scorching 40°C sun, on roads that barely existed, it kept going. In rural patrol cars and highway interceptors, the 308 earned its stripes. Constable Rita O'Shaughnessy recalls a 300-mile chase that ended with the crook's car broken down by the roadside. Fords were boiling over. Ours took the crooks down, then drove home like it was a Sunday afternoon. But it had flaws. It guzzled oil, cracked manifolds, and froze carbs on cold nights. Still it ran. Officers adapted, carrying tools, oil, even spare parts. The 308 became more than an engine, it became trust. Controversy surrounded its reliability, but loyalty ran deeper. It was the sound of justice echoing through the bush. Today, fewer than 50 police spec 308s survive. Most people ran into the ground while chasing trouble. Their legacy? Not in museums, but in stories, scars, and the silence they once shattered. The 308 never asked for glory. It got the job done. Next up, Ford's 302 Cleveland, the thinking man's muscle. Not every hero swings a sledgehammer. Some use scalpels. The Ford 302 Cleveland was a true hero. Quick, sharp, and smart. Known as the thinking man's muscle, it became a key engine in Australian police fleets in the 1970s. This engine has a 4-inch bore and a 3-inch stroke. It's designed for high-speed performance and is great for police work. The 302 shared its design with the larger 351 Cleveland. It was lighter and faster, making it great for navigating tight city streets and handling rural patrols. Its lighter front end made handling much better. This is key for high-speed chases on narrow, winding roads. The 302 Cleveland was well known for its fuel efficiency. It offered 18% better economy compared to the 351. This made it a great option for long trips in Australia's large outback, cutting down on refueling stops. Even with its cost advantage, the 302 was not slow. It could hit speeds over 125 miles per hour, allowing officers to chase down fast criminals effectively. However, the 302 had its drawbacks. High-speed chases put a lot of stress on the engine. The valve seals wore out fast, which led to performance problems. Many police departments responded by installing 351C heads on the engine. This tweak allowed for better airflow and more power. Competing with the Holden 308 V8, the 302 Cleveland was valued for its balance of power, efficiency, and handling. It may not have been as powerful as some rivals, but its reliability and finesse made it a valued part of Australian police history. It was a trusted partner in both action and endurance. And finally, at number 7, Chrysler Hemi 245, the forgotten hero. While others roared, the Hemi 245 whispered history. Launched in 1970 under the VG Valiant, this 4-liter inline-six was a workhorse with a warrior's heart. It pushed 185 horsepower, revved to the sky, and danced through corners when the big boys stumbled. Outback stations loved it, mechanics respected it, Hoons underestimated it, but Chrysler didn't. They focused on V8s. The 245 became a shadow, plagued by valve float and low oil pressure. And when Chrysler closed shop in 1980, it disappeared into history's rearview. But some remember. Some still feel that straight 6 hum echoing in the dust. Because the 245 was never about noise. It was about the soul. And in the end, the soul is what endures. For those who remember, it still stands as a symbol of Aussie spirit. Tough, underestimated, and unforgettable. And that's a wrap on these legendary Aussie police car engines. Which one made your heart race? Let us know in the comments. Your thoughts mean a lot to us. If you love the story, smash that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss an adventure. We've got plenty more coming your way, so tell us, what's next on your wish list? Drop your ideas below. Thanks for riding with us. I can't wait to see you in the next video.